4 rebounds, and a Cleveland State win. One of the most explosive guards in the open court.
Taking a look at our starting lineups, and Jordan Aaron in the backcourt, helped out by Matt Tybee in the front court, and his 6 double-doubles. He's been just as effective in the paint for Milwaukee. And for Wright State, all 5 starters average at least 7 points a game, led by A.J. Packer, who averages 10.8 points per game. Billy Donlin, their head coach, and he allowed us inside the Wright State locker room a short time ago.
You waited a year to get back to this spot. Focus on the basketball, be tougher, and do everything you can to help the guy next to you. If you're in, find a 1, 2, 3.
Well, 40 minutes does indeed separate one of these 2 teams from the NCAA tournament. But Malcolm Huckabee, you played in Elite 8. You played in championship-level games. You hear Billy Donlin say, maintain your focus on the basketball. How hard is that for these 2 teams, especially early on, to keep focus?
It's very difficult. In particular, the emotions are high. Obviously, there's so much at stake. I think the team that settles down the quickest is going to have the best chance of winning this game.
We'll see which team settles into their offense a little quicker as Tybee on the drive scores the game's first 2 points quickly.
And that's a good sign if you're Milwaukee. And Bob, this is something that they've done all tournament long. They've jumped on teams early and raced out to a quick lead.
Wright State known more for their balance, the lower scoring team of the 2. They don't even average 68 points a game. Milwaukee, so far this season, 11 times has gone over 80 points a game. Putting it on the deck is Packer and turning it over. Jordan Aaron comes the other way.
See, early on, they're double teaming A.J. Packer. That's something that, speaking with Coach Rob Jeter before at shoot-around this morning, he felt that they needed to shore up the paint. They did not want to allow A.J. Packer to establish post position early in this game.
Steve McWhorter fouled by Cole Darling, and there's Rob Jeter, who was the 2011 Horizon League Coach of the Year. He has guided this team to 4 20-win seasons. Now keep in mind, Milwaukee's only had 12 20-win seasons in the 117-year history of their program. Jeter's responsible for 4 of them.
And I like what Wright State has done. They put a taller defender in Jaron Young.
Kelm is able to knock down the jump hook. So Kyle Kelm makes it 4-0 Milwaukee.
Bob, in the 3 games that Milwaukee has played in the Horizon League tournament, they are at plus 32 going into the half. First game against Detroit, they went in with a 14-point lead. The last 2 games, Valpo and Green Bay, they go into the half up 9.
Darling is fouled, and he is hurt as well. The foul called on Tybee. And Darling lost his balance as he went to the floor. And it looks as if it will just be determined to have been a common foul. So Tybee picks up his first. But that puts Cole Darling on the bench. Here's Jaron Young with the finger roll that gets Wright State on the board.
Speaking with Coach Rob Jeter, coming into this game, he was concerned about Jaron Young. When they put him at the 3 spot, Wright State, he is a very difficult matchup.
Rashawn Hopkins came on to replace Cole Darling, and a foul now called on Packer. So Kyle Kelm, a 70% free throw shooter, will head to the line. Milwaukee was a 5th place finisher in the league. That's a little misleading. Jordan Aaron, who was 2nd team All-Horizon League and has been their best player this season, took a 4-game suspension mid to late February for a violation of team rules. He made a mistake. They have not said what that mistake was, just a violation of team rules. But without Jordan Aaron, they lost all 4 of the games he missed. They won the first game he came back to close out the regular season, and now they've won 3 in a row in the conference tournament. So in their last 8 games, they're 4-4. But the 4 games that Jordan Aaron played, they've won all of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're a different team with him out on the court. He obviously, in that last game against Green Bay, took over the game in the second half, 28 points in that overtime win against Green Bay, the regular season champion. So certainly Milwaukee needs his offense out on the court.
3 rattles down from Matt Vest. He shoots 43% from 3-point land, and it's a 1-point game.
Well, the coaches rave about Matt Vest's game. A complete player, can shoot the ball from the perimeter, but where he makes his mark is on the defensive end.
Aaron from NBA range. nothing but net for Jordan Aaron.
Bob, I can tell you right now, you better not give Jordan Aaron any space whatsoever. He has NBA range, and he is about as difficult of a matchup to guard on the perimeter as you're going to see in the Horizon League.
Turnover for Wright State. Aaron pass from Kershawn Hopkins. That's his second. Rumblings about a possible 4-point shot in the NBA. That was from 4-point range. If they ever draw another arc, Aaron was outside of it. Steve McWhorter sets up Arians. That's off the mark. The back tap ends up at midcourt. The scramble for it, and it's picked up by Miles Dixon. Dixon gives it up, and a finish by Vest.
Bob, the little games, they add up to wins. Loose ball, Wright State comes up with it, and it leads to a transition basket.
McWhorter in the paint, off the glass.
Bob, early on, I'm impressed with how Milwaukee has run their offense. They're getting high percentage shots. I talked about the first 5 minutes of this game being crucial. I think Milwaukee has done a nice job settling into this game.
Packer leans in, no foul call, and McWhorter comes the other way. This time tries to create some space and commits an offensive foul. Well defended by Vest. He's a Horizon League all-defensive team selection. And Billy Donlin will match him up often against the best perimeter player for the opposition. Clearly, that's Jordan Aaron.
Yeah, and I saw him in the quarterfinal game against Oakland chase around Travis Bader, arguably one of the best shooters in college basketball, held him to 20. Most people might say, well, that's 20. He's one of those guys that's going to get 20, but he made him work for every single point he got in that game.
Kershawn Hopkins, the Butler transfer, has played in the national championship game. He was part of those teams before being dismissed from Butler and coming to Wright State. Here's Young for three. Comes up short. He's boxed out by Kelm. Cole Darling back in the game. So he took that shot across the face, but shook it off on the bench, and he has come on to replace A.J. Packer. Tavares Sledge in the game for the first time for Wright State as well. Kelm out of the double team. Sets up Moore for three. That's good. Great start for Milwaukee, doubling up Wright State, and Billy Donlin wants a timeout.
Well, this is the start. If you're
Part of Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, and Rob Jeter's Milwaukee Panthers red hot to start. 5 of 6 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3.
That's how you take a crowd out of the game early.
Dixon picks up his dribble on the baseline, needed some help with the shot clock under 10, and now Matt Vest started to go backdoor. A.J. Packer throws it away. Turnovers for Wright State, but threes going down for Milwaukee.
Jordan Aaron on fire early, and that's a recipe for winning on the road if you're Milwaukee.
And 3 turnovers as well for Wright State, and 2 errant miscommunication passes. You wouldn't think 34 games into the season you'd be that confused on offense, but Wright State looks out of sorts.
Well, we've talked about Milwaukee on offense, and Jordan Aaron, he has been on fire throughout this tournament, but Milwaukee's defense has been equally as impressive, and they've been getting stops, and then they've been able to get out in transition and get some easy buckets.
Aaron, NBA range, in and out for 3. The lob, Kershawn Hopkins fumbled it on the way up. It was a perfect pass from Reggie Arsenault, but Kershawn Hopkins couldn't hold on. Dixon thought about a 3. He'll try one here. Way off the mark.
what's happening early right now, Bob. Milwaukee's doing a good job keeping Wright State out of the paint, and they're settling for contested jumpers.
Tybee goes down, came together with Sledge. He gets up slowly. No foul calls. A fadeaway, and that rattles home. Austin Arians able to knock one down. Nixon has his shot blocked by McWhorter. Jordan Aaron in transition, leads one on for the three from Arians. That's good. What a start from Milwaukee. And another timeout call by Billy Donlin on the Wright State bench. It's a 10-0 run.
Well, Milwaukee, your parents are, they're looking for you on ESPN, and that's what you show up in. But I love the spirit. Right now, though, their team is in trouble. A slow start for them, and give credit to Milwaukee. Defensively, they have confused them.
Aaron Young throws it at the knees of Sledge. It's another turnover. Javon Lyle pulls it back out, and Milwaukee has a chance to stretch their lead. A sloppy pass and a turnover right out of the timeout. Double team to meet Jordan Aaron. That creates a lane for Tybee to go to the basket, but he is denied. Arsenault finds Sledge, spins into traffic. A tie-up. Jaron Young rips it away. Possession arrow will keep it with Wright State.
Well, Bob, that was one of the few times early in this game where Wright State was able.
As Kyle Kelm comes back on. He played all 45 minutes in the overtime win at Green Bay. But now you're close to the under 12 media timeout. So with a 12-point lead, why not give your star a chance to catch his breath?
Absolutely, especially when you have a lead like this. And right now it looks like Wright State is playing with a lot of nerves.
Foul called on the reach-in on Javon Lyle. Wright State hasn't scored coming up on 3 minutes. It's a 10-0 run for Milwaukee. And Billy Donlin, whose team really had high expectations coming into the season, expected to be in this game, but had star players that had to go through off-season surgeries that kept them out the vast majority of the summer. Ness, Darling, and Packer all had off-season surgery, so it's been a little slower to come this year for Wright State than they expected.
And sometimes that favors a team like Milwaukee, as we talked about, picked to finish dead last in the Horizon League. So they're really playing like they have nothing to lose because nobody expected them to be in this position with a chance to punch a ticket into the tournament.
Ness throws up an air ball from the baseline. It's a player that shoots 53% from the field. It's everything. Tybee got caught in midair, and he turns it over. A 12-point lead for Milwaukee. They have been incredibly efficient offensively so far. There are plenty of teams from the ACC that will be going to the tournament, but the championship taking place at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. And so that should be a tremendous amount of terrific games we'll have across our ESPN networks as the week moves on. Hopkins crosses over and he is fouled. Foul on Javon Lyle, that's his second.
Early on, Bob, Wright State, a team that's known for great spacing, great flow on their offense, they're just really out of sync. And you got to go back and give Milwaukee a lot of credit. They've been impressive defensively. They've been getting stops, and then they've been able to get out. And Wright State really has 11:25 to turn this thing around. But we talked about the hot start for Milwaukee in their first 3 conference tournament games. They've been in close to double-digit leads going into the half.
We're a little over 6 minutes since Wright State last scored. And that has allowed Milwaukee to open up a 12-point lead. Here's Young to try and break the ice. Can't do it. Way short. And it was so much of a break, it came through traffic, and he got his own miss.
Well, Wright State needs to stop settling for jumpers. Milwaukee right now is just daring them to shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Hopkins tries to maneuver inside. Young tries a three. The Raiders stay ice cold from the field. Milwaukee is 7 for 10. Wright State is 3 for 10. Helm is fouled. Cole Darling picks up the foul. That'll put Kyle Kelm on the free throw line.
So what Milwaukee is doing, they're getting stops. They're finishing off the play by rebounding. And then on offense, they have been so patient, working the ball around. And all their shots, with the exception of the NBA three by Aaron, have been high percentage shots.
Kyle Kelm averaged 14.5 points a game in the two meetings during the regular season with Wright State. These two teams split the regular season meetings. Milwaukee hasn't won at Wright State since 2005. They've lost 9 straight games in this building. And both of these teams also this year, the winners had big first half leads. Wright State at home led by 18 at halftime. Milwaukee led by 15 up in Milwaukee. It's hard to imagine Wright State having a big halftime lead based on how well Milwaukee's played so far.
Coaches talk about the first 5 minutes opening up the game and then the first 5 of the second half. Right now, the advantage goes to Milwaukee and how they started the first 5 minutes of this game.
Arsenault. That's 8 straight misses for Wright State, but a foul call as A.J. Packer went for the offensive rebound and got pushed.
Bob, Wright State came into this game shooting a little above 35% from the three-point line, 45% from the floor, but early on, Milwaukee has done a good job contesting all their jumpers, and they've given them nothing going to the basket.
That foul on Austin Arians was his first, but now Hopkins can't handle the pass into the backcourt. It's another Wright State turnover. That's their 5th. You can sense it in this building. This crowd, most of them, can't remember the last time that they saw Wright State lose to Milwaukee at home. And they're antsy.
And you asked me on the tip what you felt the difference was going to be. I felt the team that settled in the quickest is going to have a good chance of winning this game.
Arsenault gets a steal. Shovels one off. Nests is unable to finish, but he'll go to the free throw line.
This is where Wright State makes their mark. 21st in NCAA, holding opponents to below 62 points per game. They create a lot of their offense off of turnovers, and then they're off to the races where they excel in the open court. Vest is an Iron Man. The coaches rave about his durability. He was the only player last year to start every game, didn't miss any practices, and he's a guy, as you talked about, takes the other team's best wing or perimeter player every game.
And he scores the first points for Wright State in the last 7 minutes. They're still only down by 12. You can make the argument, you go in a 7-minute drought, and the opposition at one point is shooting 80% to start the game. Another three goes down. Austin Arians, that's his second. He already has 11.
Well, it's just too much space. Austin Arians is Milwaukee's best three-point shooters, and Wright State right now is giving him way too much airspace when they close out.
Dixon to the corner. JT Yoho hits a three, and that's a huge shot for momentum's sake for Wright State.
Well, this crowd is in desperate want for something good to cheer their team about, and that's certainly a good start. JT Yoho off a nice penetrate kick.
McWhorter hit the backboard first. The first three made by Wright State, and they get a stop, and the crowd back in it. Dixon turns the corner. Sets up Yoho. He's got 2 in a row. Rob Cheater calls timeout.
He is, and JT Yoho has taken the most threes on Wright State this season, 42 of 114 coming in to this game, 36%. So they certainly need him to continue his hot shooting from the perimeter and get back into this game.
What do you think about Billy Donlin now picking up full court off the timeout, maybe trying to speed the game up a bit?
I absolutely like it. Take Milwaukee out of their comfort zone. Early on, Milwaukee, it's just been too easy on offense. They're swinging the ball around. Wright State needs to get them out of their comfort zone.
They went right back down in the paint to their comfort zone, and Kelm draws another foul. JT Yoho commits his first. 14 fouls against Wright State, 6 against Milwaukee. So another whistle away from the ball, and this is going to be a foul again against Milwaukee.
Well, Milwaukee, Bob, is not a deep team. In that semifinal win, all 5 starters played close to 40 minutes in that game. Rob Jeter does not have a deep bench, so certainly do not want your guys picking up cheap fouls in the backfield.
And that foul on Austin Arians, his second. Arsenault penetrates. He's got it.
Now that's 3 offensive possessions for Wright State where they have gotten high percentage shots.
It's an 8-0 run for the Raiders, taking a 15-point game down to 7. Foul called against the Raiders. JT Yoho picks up another. Now they're going to call it against Tavares Sledge. Yoho commits the foul, but he's getting it done on the offensive end. Knocking down.
Force him to drive the ball to the hole. If you close out and give him any airspace, that's not good enough. Right now, Wright State needs to tighten that part up because Milwaukee is continuing to shoot the ball well from the perimeter.
Milwaukee only shoots 32% from 3 as a team, but they're not shy about taking threes. Coming into today, they have taken 712 threes this season. It's over 21 attempted threes a game for a team that doesn't shoot much north of 30% from behind the line. Kelm leans in and draws a foul on Sledge. So Kyle Kelm will go to the free throw line. And Milwaukee is a volume 3-point shooting team. And I guess they figure even at 32%, we're going to make enough that it's going to be a weapon for us.
Yeah, they've certainly caught fire at the right time throughout the conference. Really, playoffs, they have been outstanding shooting the ball from the perimeter, and a lot of those have been off of penetration by Jordan Aaron and other guards, and their kickouts to wide open threes.
Kyle Kelm now has 8. He is 6 for 6 at the line. He's drawn 3 fouls and has single-handedly helped get Wright State in some foul trouble here in the first half. Both teams will be over the limit the rest of the way. So we'll shoot free throws for the last 7.5 minutes. Arsenault with some space to Yoho. Nice pass to Packer.
You can tell now Wright State is getting into flow on the offense. Higher percentage shots, the ball swinging from left to right. And then they're finding A.J. Packer where he can do some damage down low in the post.
Nice drive by Jordan Aaron.
That's a poor closeout by Wright State. You cannot force a guy as quick as Jordan Aaron to the baseline. He's just too quick. You got to play him straight up, keep him in front of you.
And Miles Dixon missed the first in the last 5 trips for Wright State. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half, and Milwaukee at one point led by as many as 15. Kelm hits the side of the backboard. Packer called for the foul. That's the 4th foul that Kyle Kelm has drawn here in the first half. And he'll go back to the free throw line again. Let's take a look at the men's American Athletic Bracket taking place at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll start things on Wednesday with Rutgers USF, Temple UCF. But then it will be Louisville, Cincinnati, awaiting the winners of those games. And that should be a great game as well between UConn and Memphis. Kelm's first miss at the line.
Both Kelm and Tybee, the bigs for Milwaukee, I really like what they do on offense, but equally impressive on defense. They're both mobile, they hedge hard on ball screens, and then they've been really patient, taking their time, trying to work down low against Wright State.
Packer, Yoho, and Garland all have 2 fouls apiece for Wright State. A.J. Packer and J.T. Yoho both left on the floor, at least for the time being, by Billy Donovan. Here's Packer in a good position to the post, and a blocking foul is called. Malcolm Moore tried to draw an offensive foul. Instead, he's called for the block.
A.J. Packer did a nice job establishing post position right there. Malcolm Moore needs to do a better job. You cannot let A.J. Packer catch the ball that deep in the post. You're going to have to foul him every time.
So A.J. Packer, second-team All-Horizon League selection, but in double figures 5 of the last 6 for Wright State. And knocks down the front end. It's been a roller coaster from the field for Wright State since the start. They start hot, then they go through the 7-minute drought, but they've made 4 of their last 5, and now Packer at the line.
And it feels like Wright State is down more than 8 after this free throw, so that's the one good thing you have to feel good about if you're Coach Bill Diamond, and that your team really struggled, had an awful start to this game. With 6:07 to go, you're only down 8 in the first half.
Porter on the drive. That's blocked by Young. And he gets it back. Rashawn Hopkins sets up Yoho for 3. In and out. Packer, the tip put back is good. And the answer at the other end, a 3 goes down for Cody Whitman. Arsenault tries to go coast to coast after the miss, and he does.
That was poor transition defense by Milwaukee. One of the few times they did not get back in transition, and Wright State made them pay.
For 3. No good. Rashawn Hopkins foul, the cheap one on J.J. Panosky. So that will put Hopkins at the line at the other end.
So right here, we're going to take a look at this, Bob. The transition defense, you need all 5 guys sprinting back. Nobody picked up the ball, and Reggie Arsenault was able to race down the court and get in for an uncontested layup. That's something that Milwaukee was not allowing Wright State to do early in this first half. You certainly do not want to let Wright State, a team that excels in the open court, start getting easy buckets in transition.
Wright State and Krishan Hopkins missing the front end of the 1-and-1. First free throw miss for Wright State. Comes up short, high in the air for the rebound, Jaron Young. Here comes Hopkins. He'll attack, draws a foul on the quarter, and he'll go right back to the line to shoot 1-and-1 again. Check that, that's team foul number 10 against Milwaukee, so now it's the automatic 2 for Hopkins.
And that's the MO of Wright State. We've talked about this at the tip, and that's what they've done throughout the course of this season. They are one of the best defensive clubs in the country, holding opponents below 62 points per game. But how they create a lot of that offense is doing what they've done on the last couple of possessions. It stops. Jaron Young came up the previous possession with a block, and then they're able to transition, get out before the defense can get set, and they got a lot of quick guards that can slash to the hole.
That Best back in replaces Packer. Smaller lineup now on the floor for Wright State. The Raiders have points on 9 of their last 11 possessions. And they have taken what once was a 15-point deficit and cut it down to 5. Jordan Aaron goes to work. Sets up Moore. Backs in and out. Tipped around. Running it down the corner is Tybee. So with the smaller group on the floor for Wright State, they leave the offensive rebound.
Tybee so active on the offensive glass. That's a huge offensive rebound for Milwaukee.
Tybee goes to work. Up under. Can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound, but this time Moore is blocked by Sledge. Hopkins the other way. Down the lane. Puts it up. Can't get it to go. Not going to bounce by Sledge. Jeter can't believe it. Well off the bench, right in the face of Mike Sanzier. And Sanzier does well to not tee up Rob Jeter as we step aside. Shooting of late for Wright State that took what once was a 15-point lead for Milwaukee, Malcolm. And it's all the way down to 5 as Wright State is 6 of 9 from the field over the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what they needed. They came out to an awful start, and then they've turned it around. They've been a little bit more consistent, more patient on offense. They definitely need to close this half out. Shooting the ball well and then being patient on offense.
Tybee up over Sledge. Offensive rebound, Moore. The putback rolls out. Battle for it. Moore finds it. Another try and draws the foul. Hard work on the offensive glass by Malcolm Moore and Matt Tybee.
That's just great work by Moore on the offensive glass. I mean, this is just a great individual effort by Moore. He misses the point-blank one. He sticks with it. And then this is just a winning play right here, Bob. When you're trying to punch a ticket, you leave it all out there on the floor. Malcolm Moore getting after it for Milwaukee on the glass.
Malcolm Moore, part of that new trend over the past couple of years that you really notice in college basketball, the 5th-year senior transfer. Graduated from UTEP, played 3 years there, still had a year of eligibility, and decided to transfer to Milwaukee. He's a native of Iowa City, but played most of his career at Texas El Paso, and now closing out his career with Milwaukee, trying to get to the tournament.
Yeah, and he brings exactly what he did on that last possession to Milwaukee. That's something they lacked last year. They did not have a presence on the offensive glass, doing the little things, diving for loose balls. Malcolm Moore is a guy that brings that to Milwaukee, and that's the reason why they're winning these games.
Malcolm Moore sits down. Kyle Kelm comes back on. To the post, back outside to Arsenault. He knocks one down.
That's a great play by Reggie Arsenault. The guy that called the game last year at Milwaukee, he went off for 28. Wright State has some guys that are capable of having big offensive nights.
Kelm forces one up, gets it to go, plus the foul. And that ends, as you saw, a Milwaukee drought and stretches the lead back up to 7.
Well, it just seems like Milwaukee, Bob, it's been too easy for them on offense. All their shots have been high percentage. They've been really patient, and then they've worked the ball down low. And all their threes have been off penetration kicks, where their bigs have taken high percentage shots. Wright State might have to think about double teaming the post if Kelm and Tybee continue to go to work as they have in this first half.
Milwaukee had 2 points in the paint over the last 15 minutes before that 3-point play by Kyle Kelm. And the lead is up to 8. Now Packer has a chance to shoot some free throws. And ESPN's coverage of the NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament continues Sunday with a special sports center at 5:30, and at 7 it's bracketology. Don't miss all the latest news and analysis from our panel of experts. They'll break down the field of 68. Selection Sunday, Sports Center at 5:30, bracketology at 7. Both shows also live on Watch ESPN.
After for the year, 68% free throw shooter. I like that matchup for Wright State. Going down low to Packer, he's a guy that shoots a high percentage from the floor, close to 60% from the field. So make it easy on yourself. Don't settle for jumpers. Get it down low to the big fella. Play for him.
1 of 2 at the line. This is A.J. Packer's 131st career game. It's a new Wright State record for games played. And this is his first year where he's really been a major offensive weapon. Kell had his shot deflected, back up with the left hand and good. Arsenault crossed over, lost the dribble. Javon Lyle comes the other way. Stepping into a three is Aaron. Tapped out to Arsenault. He lost it. Scramble on the floor for it, and Vest is hurt. Vest took a shot from Lyle. His head hit the head of Javon Lyle. Lyle's fine, but Matt Vest is just about knocked out in the backcourt. And the officials now stop play.
Boy, that was a violent collision. Both guys going after the ball. Nothing malicious about it. That's just two players diving after a loose ball, and Vest took the worst of that collision right there. He got all shoulder in the side of his face.
So Jordan Aaron goes to the free throw line, and Vest amazingly stays in the game.
We talked about his durability. The only player on Wright State to start every game last season. Coach Donlin calls him an Iron Man. He's a guy that a great defender on the perimeter, and they certainly need him out there, in particular with the guy at the line, Jordan Aaron.
Matt Vest's dad, Mark, is a 1,000-point scorer here at Wright State and is in the Wright State Hall of Fame. So he grew up a Wright State fan. When he was a junior in high school, Wright State won the Horizon League, went to the NCAA tournament. He rushed the floor. That's how long he's been wearing green and white. Packer with the left hand, finishes.
Bob, if I'm Coach Bill Donlin right now, I'm telling my guys, do not shoot the ball until A.J. Packer gets a touch in the post.
Kelm leans in. Another offensive rebound for Moore, and he puts it back up and in. That's his 4th offensive rebound.
He has been a man on the offensive glass, grabbing every offensive rebound, and he's just manhandling Wright State bigs.
And now Moore called for the foul on Packer. It's the second on Malcolm Moore.
Coach Jeter talked about the physical presence that they lacked last year. Malcolm Moore, the addition of Matt Tybee, they are no longer getting pushed around on the offensive or defensive glass. They are going after everything.
And Joe DeRosa is still getting a clinic from Rob Jeter, as A.J. Packer is in double figures now for the 6th time in the last 7 games.
Coaches are always lobbying for something. They think their guys getting held or pushed. They're always trying to officiate the officials.
Under a minute to go in the first half. Under 10 to shoot. It's in Jordan Aaron's hands. They double team. He gives it up. Kelm left alone. Instead, it's Lyle from the corner. A little too strong. A chance for Wright State to hold for the final shot of the first half. And what should have been a foul, it looked like Javon Lyle gets away with a reach in at midcourt. Down to 8 seconds to go before halftime. Vest, 5 seconds to shoot. Arsenault puts up a 3. That's no good. And at halftime, it's a 10-point lead for Milwaukee. Normally, it's Jordan Aaron getting the job done. He's the offensive weapon for the Panthers. Instead, it was Kelm and Arians that carried them in the first half.
Well, it's been all Milwaukee in this first.
Not only did they out-rebound Wright State 18-12, but 6 of those 18 were offensive rebounds including 4 by Malcolm Moore alone. He had 7 rebounds and 7 points in the first half, and all 4 of his offensive rebounds resulted in second chance points.
Bob, looking at those numbers, you would think Milwaukee would be up more than 10, so that's the only good news for Wright State coming into the second half.
And a reach-in foul called on Miles Dixon to start the second half. So for Wright State, conversely, what do you think were those couple of points that Billy Donlin probably stressed most for the second half?
Well, it's simple. They got to close out better on three-point shooters, and then they got to rebound the ball.
Good help defense came from Cole Darling. That's the other way. Lays it in. So defense creates offense for Wright State, who has never led. We have never been tied. Jordan Aaron has his shot blocked and taken away by Jaron Young.
First 5 minutes of the second half, completely different from what we saw in the first half. In the second, Wright State is the aggressor.
A.J. Packer muscles one up and gets the roll.
You got to wonder now, Bob, how long Coach Jeter goes before he calls a timeout.
He barely played more than a minute. Helm leans in. No good. Gets his own miss. That's back up and in.
They're just quicker to the ball, and they're out-muscling, out-toughing Wright State on the glass.
Dixon, jump stop. He lost it. It's out of bounds on the strip by Milwaukee. Billy Donlin was the Horizon League Coach of the Year last year. Got to the finals of the tournament once again, but lost to Valpo. Right back here in the finals this year as the host team, by virtue of the fact that the top 2 seeds got eliminated. And it was Milwaukee knocking out Green Bay on Saturday night that put the game here in Dayton. Shot clock down to 3. Packer leans in, and with the shot clock at 1, he's able to bank one home. Arians, the reverse is good. Great find by Matt Tybee.
That's a beautiful find by Tybee. Arians has been impressive throughout this game. Go to Milwaukee's record. They're 15-5 when he scores in double digits.
Concerted effort, it seems, to get Packer the ball in the paint. They're running their offense through him here in the second half. Leaning in, Darling, and scores.
Well, you can clearly tell what the message was by Coach Donlin at halftime. Do not settle for perimeter jump shots.
Good hands by Packer.
Milwaukee did a great job in transition defense right there. You turned the ball over. You didn't compound the problem by not getting back on defense.
Reach-in foul on Jordan Aaron. First foul on Aaron. He has 7 points.
Not settling for jumpers as they were early in the first half, and that's the reason why they've been able to get back into this game.
That's Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Bob Wischusen. We were classmates at Boston College, so of course I'm waiting for the Elite 8 flashback from the truck to come from 1994. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm just waiting to see Malcolm Huckabee and Howard Ising knocking down jump shots to beat Dean Smith and Bobby Knight back-to-back. More points to the paint for Wright State. And that's how you guys did it back in 1994 with Bill Curley.
And this is what we expected from Wright State. A team that's efficient on offense. They're not settling. And right now they're getting high percentage shots.
Aaron tries to force the issue. His pass deflected. Instead it's Kell. Sets up Aaron. Wide open 3 and he knocks it down.
He has been phenomenal. The last 3 games that he has played, he has put Milwaukee on his back whenever they needed a big bucket, Jordan Aaron has stepped up and knocked down big shot after big shot.
Darling from the corner. Can't answer. I think the impressive part about Jordan Aaron is, to me, he doesn't force it. He's got 10, but it's been a quiet 10. It hasn't been there. He hasn't taken bad shots.
Well, he's a guy last year had 123 turnovers. This year, only 62. He's making better decisions with the ball. That's something that Coach Jeter sat him down with over the offseason. Not trying to do too much. He's playing under control, and he's making others around him better.
There's a back tap. Aaron with a quick trigger. It won't go. Dixon goes right at Aaron on the baseline. Banks it home. That's the first field goal for Miles Dixon. He had 17 in their semifinal win over Cleveland State to help get them to the championship game. To shoot from Milwaukee. Tybee tries a three. Knocks it down. Foul underneath as well. A foul called underneath, and it looks like it's going to go against Wright State. Score the basket. We've got a timeout on the floor, and Milwaukee continues to hold on to their lead. Noticed A.J. Packer throwing down Kyle Kelm in the lane after that three was made. So Packer called for his third foul. The three is good, and Milwaukee maintains possession with a chance to stretch the lead back to double figures. So that was a huge call as we went to break. As Packer's now on the bench with three, Sledge back in the game. Kelm over Sledge. Gets the roll, and Milwaukee, just like that, a 5-point trip, and they are on top by 10 again.
Inside-outside basketball game. Milwaukee is doing an unbelievable job on offense. They're getting uncontested perimeter jumpers, and then when Wright State is not helping, they're going down low in the post, and their guys are finishing.
Off Krishan Hopkins, out of bounds. Good hands by Arians. He got the deflection, and it went off the fingertips of Hopkins.
This is just great defense right here, and this is something Arians has worked on. Last year, he was just known as a three-point shooter. This year, he's become a more complete player. He's getting after it on the defensive end.
Matt Vest back in, Hopkins out for Wright State. Milwaukee's largest lead was 15. Wright State got it down to 6. Arians a little too strong in the paint. Tipped out of bounds by Kelm.
Well, Wright State was very lucky on that play right there that Milwaukee didn't come up with another offensive rebound. It seems like Milwaukee is beating them to every loose ball, every offensive rebound. They're getting their hands on it.
Packer out of a double team. Best to the corner, wide open Dixon. Short. 8 offensive rebounds for Milwaukee. Wright State hasn't nearly been as effective on the offensive glass.
Yeah, there's nobody crashing the offensive glass. That time, really, one guy going after an offensive rebound, and Tybee cleaned up the glass.
Tybee finds McWhorter, the extra pass to Kelm, but he traveled.
They did everything right on that play except the travel at the end. You got a double team, unselfish by Tybee to give it up to a cutter. One more, and unfortunately they had a travel there, but that was beautiful movement of the ball by Milwaukee.
Still only Milwaukee's 6th turnover. Deflection, Tybee couldn't slap it back in play. So it's out of bounds off Milwaukee with 23 to shoot. And here comes Malcolm Moore back in the game, replacing Tybee. Tybee's been a terrific front court scorer for Milwaukee, but at least in this game, Malcolm Moore has been the monster on the offensive glass. Just 4 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, he has been huge. And we talked about the depth of Wright State, but Milwaukee really, and Coach Jeter has done a nice job keeping Wright State out of the paint.
Arsenault hits a three.
Arsenault is Wright State's best three-point shooter, over 45% from the three-point line. So that's a much-needed three for Wright State.
Jordan penetrates, blocked from behind by Darling.
That's great help defense by Darling. Jordan, he's so tough to keep out of the lane, and that's what you need to do if you're Wright State. When he breaks down your other guards, the help needs to be quick.
Speaking of quick, off the curl, Austin Arians, the quick trigger off the inbound.
That's a nice little curl cut. No help or hedge by the big on that screen, and Aaron curled tight for a nice little runner in the lane.
Best for 3. Helm another rebound.
And Bob, look at that last offensive possession by Wright State. You had one player, your point guard out there, Krishan Hopkins, crashing the offensive glass. Nobody was in the paint. No bigs were in the paint for Wright State trying to get an offensive rebound.
Arians allows the flyby. Can't hit the 3. Another offensive rebound, though, for Moore. That's his 5th. And a fresh 35 for Milwaukee. From the corner, it's Jordan Aaron with a triple. And the lead back up to 12.
Loose balls, offensive rebounds. Milwaukee has been impressive, Bob, in this game.
30-second timeout called for by Billy 10. And both are big question marks, I think, in the minds of many as they head towards the tournament.
Yeah, and you take a look at Virginia, the top defensive club in the country. They hold teams, lock them down on the defensive, and they have some offensive guys. And obviously, Wichita State, that's my pick to go to the Final Four and win it this year.
The whole thing?
Absolutely.
Very interesting. Well, Milwaukee or Wright State, the winner is going to the tournament. The loser might be done. It's the Horizon League championship game. Milwaukee on top of Wright State, 60-48. And just to reemphasize, this really is a true Game 7. Wright State is the 3 seed. Milwaukee is the 5 seed in this league. The number 1 seed, Green Bay, they've been knocked out. And that's the consolation prize that goes to the top seed. They're in the NIT, no matter what. The winner of this game goes to the NCAA tournament. The loser might not get any postseason bid whatsoever.
Yeah, I believe this is a win or you go home game.
Packer fumbles it out of bounds. It'll be very interesting knowing exactly what is riding on this game, to watch these last 10 minutes and how these players react to that pressure. Yeah, and right now Milwaukee is the team that is playing the most loose. It just seems like Wright State is playing uptight. They've had some good opportunities, but McWhorter forced the issue there. Bad decision by Steve McWhorter. Hopkins, an equally bad decision, but draws a foul. You like the aggression by Krishan Hopkins, but really it's just been out of sync on the offensive end for Wright State. They've had a few possessions where they've looked like they were going to turn it around. They got a couple of open looks for JT Yoho, but really throughout the course of this game, they've just been out of sync offensively. Is there any button you push as a coach to try to get a team back in sync? Do you look to go to a specific player, run your favorite sets? This is not a team, Wright State, that has that go-to scorer. Yeah, they don't, but I think his depth at times is his strength. Right now, they're going to have somebody step up and start making plays. It's as simple as that. I hate to simplify it, but right now, they're getting nothing on offense, and then defensively, they're just giving up way too many easy buckets to Milwaukee. Packer called for the foul. Reached in on Malcolm Moore. That's Packers' fourth. So the leading scorer for Wright State has 4 fouls. He'll have to come out of the game. And yes, here comes DeVar Sledge to take out A.J. Packer.
He's the one guy that Wright State can ill afford not to have on the floor.
Scramble for the loose ball. Diving forward is Lyle. He knocked it out of bounds. Good hustle by Jaron Young to help cause the turnover.
Now that's the 7th. Throughout the course of this game, they have been taking care of the ball, getting high percentage shots. You don't want to start turning it over against Wright State.
Yoho from 2. Missed everything.
Again, Bob, a contested jumper early in the shot clock, and nobody on the offensive glass for Wright State.
Order for 3, wide open. In, out, and almost in again. Here comes Rashawn Hopkins. He just about lost the dribble. Scramble forward. A timeout is called instead of held ball. Is the signal from the officials. The possession arrow will keep it with Wright State. Joe DeRosa quickly signaled held ball. Mike Sanzier, the other official that was moving in to make the call, did signal towards the Milwaukee bench. He was about to grant the timeout.
Yeah, I thought that was awfully quick. It looked like the Milwaukee player gained possession, and they were all calling timeout, so that's a big break for Wright State.
Cole Darling back in for Matt Best for Wright State. Young finds Hopkins on the cut. Can't score it, but a blocking foul is called. Malcolm Moore is tagged with the foul.
Bob, you just get the sense that everything on offense for Wright State is difficult. Every shot they're taking is contested. On the other end, Milwaukee's getting high percentage shots. The corner on that last 3 right there was wide open. Ball went in and out.
That's Moore's 3rd foul. Tybee comes back on, replacing Moore. Well, A.J. Packer's got 4 fouls. He's on the bench. He averages 10.8 points per game. That's tied for 21st in the Horizon League. He's their leading scorer. So Wright State has tremendous balance. They've got 7 players that average at least 7.5 points a game. But they don't have that identifiable weapon that they can run their offense through, at least so it seems.
Yeah, and a lot of times, guys, because they're not playing over 20 minutes a game, it's hard for them sometimes to get in the offensive rhythm.
Arians doesn't need to force a 3 there. Still 10 on the shot clock. Here's McWhorter. Forces one up and a foul call. So Steve McWhorter, the junior from Wisconsin, sat out last season after transferring from Indiana State, but played point guard at Indiana State for a couple of years. He'll go to the free throw line. And you can see there's plenty of players that are in that mid-range offensively for Wright State, but that's 14 points on the bench with 4 fouls on A.J. Packer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you take that even lower on the score, you got guys like Reggie Arsenault, who is right around 6 points a game, and he's a guy last year went off for 28 against Milwaukee on the road.
So when does Billy Donlin put A.J. Packer back in the game? As we come up on 8 minutes to go, and it's still a 10-point lead.
I think he's got to get him in. If this thing stretches to 12 or 14, you got to bring him in. Right now, you're down 10, 8:18 to go in the second half. And the way Milwaukee has been executing on offense, I don't think you can leave him on the bench any more than a few more minutes.
Stepping on the sideline and turning it over is Cole Darling. That's 12 turnovers for Wright State.
And Bob, back to McWhorter. He is the reason why Jordan Aaron has been able to slide over to the two spot and do what he does best, explore the basketball. He has played a phenomenal floor game. We're going to take a look at another assist, and that's what he has done. Freed up Jordan Aaron, and that's a beautiful penetrate kick to the hottest guy in the Horizon League right now, Jordan Aaron.
Young with a spin move. He can't score it. Offensive rebound. The putback won't go for Sledge, and it's tapped out of bounds. Now the officials get together, and they'll say it stays with Wright State. When you try and double-team Steve McWhorter, he breaks pressure, and Jordan Aaron left alone for three. The last thing that Wright State needs to see.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and sharing this time with the family here this afternoon.
Stay strong. See you at the field, okay? How do we do it?
Together.
There's no secrets in here. If there's a problem, we work it out as a family. When you leave this earth or when you leave the field, don't ever leave any regrets. You want to finish? Go finish for him. Go finish for your grandfather right now. Yes, sir. Everybody with him? Yes, sir.
A man pioneers a way to see the unseen, leading to radar, forever providing early warnings and safer journeys. The conviction to create a safer journey is the Mazda way. The Mazda 6 uses radar, lasers, and sensors to detect objects and even apply the brakes for you. Introducing the modern sports sedan, the Mazda 6. What do you drive?
Chris Cotter, Coach Greenberg, this March Mayhem update brought to you by All-State NEC Finals over on ESPN2. Rashad Wack from Mount St. Mary's, Coach.
Mount St. Mary's head coach Jamin Christian, he was a former VCU assistant. He's brought havoc to Mount St. Mary's.
Kevin Pangos battling a little turf toe. Gonzaga and BYU for the WCC title coming up next on ESPN. Until then, back to Bob and Malcolm.
All right, Chris, thanks. Milwaukee maintaining a double-digit lead under 8 minutes to go in the Horizon League championship game. And they have done the job defensively and on the glass.
Oh, they have. They've done a fantastic job. But on the other end, Wright State has done a terrible job crashing the offensive glass. You're going to take a look right here. They contest the shot. Milwaukee does. And then you have 0 guys for Wright State in there crashing the offensive glass. We're going to take a look at another possession by Wright State. Good defense by Milwaukee. They get out and contest the shot. And then you're going to take a look right here. You're going to have 0 guys from Wright State crashing the offensive glass. That comes down to effort and energy. And right now, Milwaukee is the better team in that department.
Milwaukee has 9 offensive rebounds. Wright State has 4. Second chance points. Milwaukee 11. Wright State 2. It's a 13-point game. A.J. Packer scores inside, so during this timeout, Billy Donovan makes the decision. Packer has 4 fouls. Well, you called it. You said if the lead got to 12 or 14, it was right in the middle, that he'd have to put Packer back in the game, and he does.
And also, Wright State is going to have to think about picking up full court on defense, because right now, Milwaukee's just milking the clock.
Aaron dribbles into trouble. It's a turnover, and Guest gets the easy play. The lead is back to single digits. Under 7 minutes to go.
And Bob, just when I was ready to praise Milwaukee on offense, how patient they are, they come up with a bad turnover, which led to an easy, uncontested layup for Wright State.
Turns it over.
let's see if Wright State can put together multiple good offensive and defensive possessions.
Garland can't score inside. The Packer has to be careful. Going after the loose ball that Arians had corralled, nearly picked up his foot.
Milwaukee's doing an outstanding job on the defensive glass.
They go right at Packer. Kelm trying to back him down. He does. Uses the glass. It won't go. The tip follow won't go. And it's tipped away from Packer. Out of bounds. They say off of Packer. So it stays with Milwaukee and a fresh shot clock.
Well,
we're up to 11 offensive rebounds now for Milwaukee. It's been a big factor in this game. The winner goes to the tournament as the Horizon League champs. The loser not guaranteeing their spot in the NIT. Arians just about dragged his pivot foot. I'm guessing the crowd thought that it slipped.
It was close.
And a timeout called by Rob Jeter, as he is not happy with how the offense looks. Let's take a look at the ACC men's bracket. Take place.
I like the timeout by Coach Rob Jeter. They were really out of sync on that possession right there. He sensed it, got a timeout. He knows this is a crucial possession for Milwaukee.
McWhorter drives it. The tip follow won't go. Keeping it alive is Tybee. That's no good. Another offensive rebound, the 12th for Milwaukee. But they can't get points out of it. Now foul called on the trip as Miles Dixon was upended.
And Bob, that's one of the few poor decisions that Tybee has made. In that situation, he's got to understand time and possession. You get an offensive rebound, unless it's a point-blank putback, throw the ball back out, run some more clock.
And then Tybee committed the foul. 5 fouls on Milwaukee, 4 on Wright State. So each team with fouls to give, each team with 2 timeouts. Milwaukee has the possession arrow. Under 5.5 minutes to go. Young across the lane. It's a 7-point game.
That's a beautiful slashing move by Jaron Young. He basically just sidestepped the help and was able to get up in the lane and finish.
Tybee puts up a point-blank shot. It won't go, and then he commits the foul. 6 fouls now on Milwaukee.
Well, it was a great move by Tybee. Didn't settle for a jumper, worked the ball back down low. He got a high percentage shot, but then that's another poor foul. And something you do not want to do if you're Milwaukee. Stop the clock and then give them a chance to set up their offense. Take a look at the last 4 possessions for Milwaukee, Bob, and they have not been good ones.
Tybee, Jordan Aaron, and Moore, all with 3 fouls for Milwaukee. 4 fouls for Packer. He's playing and gets shut down there. Moves his way around Kelm, but misses the bunny, and Kelm has the rebound.
Well, you can't ask for a better look if you're Wright State. That's point blank right there. A.J. Packer just a little too strong. I like the move by Wright State. Put a taller defender, Jaron Young, on Jordan Aaron. Try to let him use his length to bother Aaron.
Shot clock down to 5. Aaron drives. Young called for the foul. Under 4 minutes to go in the Horizon League championship game. Milwaukee trying to hang on. 9 in the league, 5th overall in the Horizon League standings. Won their last 4 games, though, after Jordan Aaron returned from his suspension. And they have been on fire in the Horizon League tournament. Robert Shoes and Malcolm Huckabee. What do we expect in the last 4 minutes?
Well, I think Milwaukee needs to continue to be patient on offense, work some clock, and then try to penetrate with Jordan Aaron, spread him out, and have him kick out He'll try to get to the hole on his own.
Kelm leans in. Packer couldn't foul. Kelm went right at A.J. Packer, who's playing with 4 fouls. He's up to 20 points. Young tries a 3. Got it!
That's a huge 3 by Jared Young. But if I'm Milwaukee, Bob, I'm coming right back at that matchup with Kelm. Run some clock and then try to get him isolated either in the post or on the wing.
Warder right around Packer, missed the layup.
That's a point one that they can ill afford to miss. Milwaukee trying to stretch this lead out to 8.
Young for 3. A brick to say the least. And McWhorter ends up with the loose ball. If that was a heat check, I think very quickly, Jared Young is cooled off.
Yeah, that's not a good offensive possession. You don't need a 3 in that situation. You're only down 6, 2:23 to go. If it's off of a penetrate kick, yes, but not deep NBA early in the shot clock.
12 to shoot. Jordan Aaron penetrates. Blocked out of bounds. 8 on the shot clock.
That was one of the few times Aaron had Aaron right open in the corner. He's got to give that one up. He drew 3 or 4 Wright State defenders. He's got to kick that ball out to a wide open shooter.
To shoot. Does Arians realize it? Now a timeout called by Jeter from the sideline for Milwaukee with 4 on the shot clock. And the Panthers are down to 1 timeout remaining. They only have 1 field goal in the last 6.
Conference, but certainly that's a huge drop-off from the top of that conference.
Wright State still has a foul to give. 2 minutes remaining. Milwaukee has the arrow. And we have 1 timeout left up. 3 to shoot. Kelm leans in. Can't score. Rashawn Hopkins trying to go coast to coast. Missed the finger roll. Crowd looking for a foul. No call.
And again, Bob, not one Wright State player crashing the offensive glass. In a crucial situation like that, you've got to go after the glass when you see a guy go.
10 seconds on the shot clock again. Now it's in the hands of Jordan Aaron. He creates some space. No good. The tap out to Hopkins. Another chance for Wright State. Rashawn Hopkins, 1 on 4 again, and it's blocked out of bounds. Well, how many times has Rashawn Hopkins in this game forced the ball into the paint with very little success?
And that's why Coach Dominick's going to get him out of the game right now. Too much of a hurry. You got to get a high percentage shot. He was awfully close to coming up with a turnover.
Yoho for 3. No good. That's an offensive rebound. Now it's Yoho inside. Bounces 1 to Dixon. He's fouled on a reach in by McWhorter. So that will put Miles Dixon at the line, an 81% free throw shooter, to shoot 1 and 1. That's team foul number 7 on Milwaukee. 1 minute to go in the Horizon League Championship game. Papa Shoes and Malcolm Huckabee are in Dayton. And in 1 minute and 3 seconds, one of these 2 teams is going to be headed to the NCAA tournament.
Right now, if you're Wright State and Miles Dixon, you got to concentrate on the free throws. You can ill afford any misses. Down 6, 1 minute 3. And then it's going to come down to defensive stop clock. They're going to have to get stops against Milwaukee. And I think Jordan Aaron is going to have the ball in his hands in one-on-one situations.
Milwaukee has 2 points in the last 7 minutes, and they still have a 5-point lead. They've missed 9 of their last 10 shots. Put the lead down to 4. The Crowder champion of the West Coast Conference coming up next year on ESPN. It's BYU and Gonzaga. 1:03 to go. 4-point game. Heavy screen set in the backcourt by Carroll. And Best had no idea it was coming. It's a 5-on-4 as a result.
Nobody called out the screen for Matt Best, and he got nailed.
Here's the double team on the quarter. Don't want to foul now if you're Wright State. 10 to shoot. Aaron out near mid-court. Splits a double team. Down the lane. Hits block, but a foul call.
What a beautiful split by Jordan Aaron. He just split 2 defenders, no pick and roll situation, and then I'd like to see if there was body on this. And I don't know in that situation right there. It looked like it was pretty good defense.
Foul was called on JT Yoho. The block from Jaron Young, but Yoho was called for the foul. Jordan Aaron, an 81% free throw shooter.
He has been the guy for Milwaukee, Bob. End-of-game situations, going back to that semifinal win against Green Bay. He went off for 28 in an OT win. He hit big shot after big shot. I expect him, with the 31 seconds left, to have the ball in his hands.
10 of his 17 have been scored here in the second half. And now he's got 18. 30 seconds to go. It's a 6-point game. Needs to be a sense of urgency here for Wright State. Yoho for 3. In and out. Tybee has the rebound, and he has to be fouled. And now Tybee turns around and wants to go after Miles Dixon. And Rob Jeter turns around and tells Tybee to get to the other end of the floor. Apparently he knows where the television cameras are because he practiced his mugging for the camera.
Well, it was a hard foul by Dixon, but then probably a little bit of an overreaction by Tybee. Obviously, Dixon needs to make a foul in that situation, and certainly Rob Jeter recognizing he does not want anybody to pick up a technical foul or get ejected from this game.
Tybee shoots 75% at the line. Can't hit the front end. Arsenal gives it up to Yoho. They have to have a 3. Packer leans in for 3. That's off the mark. 8 seconds to go. Dribbling it out of trouble is Steve McWhorter, and Milwaukee is going to go to the NCAA tournament.
Bob, a team picked to finish dead last in the Horizon League has just punched a ticket into the dance. They dominate.